Yes, yes, yes. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. Hey, guys! It is Old Man G here, back again. I'm joined with Sean and with Shane, double S. You know, and we are now going to be talking. We're having the debate. We're having a debate discussion about who is the better defender, who's the better player, and Wan Bissaka or Trent. Sean will be representing the Liverpool. Because Stawat, who was going to be taking part in the debate, came out. So thankfully, Sean was happy to come in, and so I appreciate that, Sean. Shane,
no worries.
He's the owner of the United Man. Check out his channel as well. This should be streaming to the United Man channel as well. So shout out to everyone who's watching the United Man as well. And for my users who'll be watching, please head over to his channel and subscribe. He'll be obviously defending Wan Bissaka. So yeah, guys. Basically, how this is going to go is, I'm going to give you guys both interesting statements. Sean will start first about why he feels that Trent is the better player, maybe the better defender. Then Shane will then go, and then we'll go essentially 3 topics: ability, impact on the team, and like greatest moments, basically. Because his career is obviously still going on, so that's kind of where we'll go. And then the secondary question is obviously, the nature of a defender, because these two players almost represent 2 different aspects of defending, tackling, versatility and winning the ball in Wan Bissaka, and assisting, pace going forward in Trent. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. If you're new to the channel as well, please like, share, subscribe the button. Get involved with the comments as well, guys. If you have any questions to ask either Sean or Shane, I'll be trying to moderate as well. But yeah, just get in the comments and just let us know, and we'll answer them as well. So without further ado, Sean, do you want to get in as to why you think that Trent is the better player, the better defender?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in terms of better, I don't know, if better's the word, because I just like you were saying just in your open statement there, like there's differences about them. You could argue if Trent got better at what Wan Bissaka is better at, then he'd be the better defender. If Wan Bissaka could get better at what Trent's good at, they'd both be just absolutely blinding defenders. What I will say, yeah, what I will say about Trent though, is that I think he had a better start to his career, because obviously he's already got a Champions League, potentially a title, under his belt already. But once again, he does have probably, I would argue, the best defender in the world to fall back on as well. If somebody makes it past Trent, someone like Joe Gomez or Virgil, will be there just to mop up any mistakes that he's made.
Just be clear there, Sean. He was on about Virgil being the best defender, not Joe Gomez, though, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's it. I mean, yeah, that speaks for itself. Joe Gomez, terrific talent, but yeah, Virgil mops up. For sure. But yeah, it is one of them things. I would happily admit. I mean, you could see weaknesses.
Wait, Sean, are you conceding defeat already? That Trent Alexander-Arnold is not as good a defender as Wan Bissaka? I've got to interject here.
Yeah, no, not like. I mean, in terms of all round, I would still have Trent. And like I say, I think he's just had a better start to his career. I think they're probably about similar age. I think Wan Bissaka has like a year on Trent or something.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's 22.
Yeah. Which it's nothing when in those sort of early stages. But for someone like Trent to have, a Champions League and already a title, a potential title, depending on what's going to happen under his belt, then, it's just going to fill him with confidence. He's just going to keep thriving. I think Trent would be the first one to admit as well that he wants to get better at all aspects of his game, but you can sort of see that there is genius in him. There's quality that won't disappear, and hopefully we'll just see more of that and just more him getting better at his defensive side as well. Because like I say, it's easy for him to go forward in a way because of who he's got behind him. He's got so much confidence in that. But I mean, without even looking at the statistics, I looked at the statistics just before I came on here, and they just sort of speak for themselves.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, Sean, so that's your opening statement on Trent. So Shane, Why do you think that Wan Bissaka? Obviously, I'm biased as a United fan, so I'll try to remove that while we discuss this. But why do you think that? Why do you think that Wan Bissaka is the better player, the better defender?
I think if you take it back to your one of your opening statements, G, is where you said, and Shawnee touched on it as well, in terms of what it means for a defender, or if you like, a wing back or fullback, whatever it's called now, the position, what it means to be playing that position nowadays. So in terms of playing in that position, you've got to be able to attack. I don't think you can any longer just be purely defensive minded. You can no longer just say, I'm a defender, that's it. That being said, that position falls in the line of defense. So for me, you've got to be a defender first and foremost. Trent, credit where credit's due. The kid's a whiz at creating opportunities. Crossing the ball in, I'd go as far as saying, hold my hands up, say the kid's Beckham-esque in terms of his delivery. He's that good. And he's cool, calm and collected on the ball as well. Again, going back to my point, I want my defenders to be able to defend first. And I think it's been stated from numerous professionals, Jamie Carragher, a Liverpool faithful included, Martin Keown, Will Zaha, his ex-teammate. They've all gone on the record to state that he's the best one-on-one defender, whether it's one said the world, one said Europe, one said in the Premier League. Now, saying again, I want my defenders to be able to defend first, attacking second. What Wan Bissaka is as a defender, you cannot teach. I believe he can get better. Going forward with his delivery, again, to Trent Alexander-Arnold's point, that's natural. He's naturally gifted with his delivery. I don't think Wan Bissaka will ever get to that level in terms of his delivery, but he can take chances and knock a few more balls into the opposition area.
I'll interrupt you there, Sean. You say that Wan Bissaka will never be able to get to that ability of Trent. So, but then you also say, I'll try and challenge you guys to try and understand. So, but then you also say that Wan Bissaka is obviously defending first. So, and an important aspect of a being defender's game is obviously going forward now. So, given that Trent potentially could work on his defending, does that not therefore mean that if Wan Bissaka can never get to the ability of crossing that Trent can, that Wan Bissaka is in fact a more inferior defender and therefore player than Trent?
If I hadn't started my opening statement as I want my defenders to be able to defend first, then yes. I don't believe he will ever get to Trent's ability of delivery. I just don't. There's how many Premier League defenders, European defenders, and Trent for me is up there in terms of his delivery. I really do believe that. But likewise, you can't teach being the best one-on-one defender for his position in the world. I wouldn't say defender. I'd more say for his position in the world. I genuinely believe I've seen my natural position is defender first, and I ascribe to defending. However, as I said and touched on, you can't just defend nowadays, and we've seen time and time again when Wan Bissaka, his attacking side of his game, has let him down. But because Trent Alexander-Arnold cannot, I believe, get to Wan Bissaka's level in terms of defensively, for me, that's a foregone conclusion.
Okay, fair enough. Just reading some comments actually as well. So I think Shane's crew coming on, which is great. So yes, United man of right part, Arnold best right back in the world, Robertson best left back, Liverpool best team in the world. I'm not biased, just the truth. Okay. Alrighty then.
He's not a Liverpool fan by any chance, is he?
Alright then. So thanks for that. So no bias. No bias there. Raymond, Trent is more similar to Anton. Shout out to Raymond as well. Good to see you. Trent is more similar to the compared to Bissaka. Trent is an attacking defender, while Bissaka is a defensive defender. Okay, so again, two sides of the same coin. Palmer says, "Yes, Shane, how you doing?"
Yes, Palmeris. What's going on, man?
And Masters Wallace says, if I had to pick TA all day, Villa fan. Okay, so there's a lot of there seems to be a lot of Liverpool-esque slants towards Wan Bissaka, towards Trent Alexander-Arnold. So let me get into, I guess, the topics, because you kind of touched on ability within your opening statements. So we'll bypass ability for the time being, and we'll look at impact on the team. Okay, so I'll go back to Sean. Why do you think that Trent Alexander-Arnold's impact on the Liverpool team? Okay, we'll stick to this. Why do you think that Trent's impact on the Liverpool team is better than Wan Bissaka's impact on the United team? Does that make sense? Okay.
Yeah, well, if you're talking about full-on impact, that is where Trent shines, because he has that flair about him. He has that kind of he just springs to life like from out of nowhere, to the extent where almost he doesn't care about defending. He just bombs it forward, and you can see the impact on the whole team, because it fills them with confidence knowing that they've got someone like Trent in the team. They see Trent going forward. You see Mane and Salah. They all feed off of him. They just drive forward as well. And I've seen it work. I saw it work when we won the Champions League. I saw it work this season. And if you're just talking in terms of just genuine impact, I mean, like I say, it's a bit of a cop out for me, because I don't need Trent to make a massive impact at the back just when it's necessary, because if he bombs it forwards and gets those goals, because goals are important in winning games, and so is defending. I mean, even Klopp says straight away, like that. You keep a clean sheet and you've got more of a chance of winning. But because we've got such a strong defense, Trent can just go ahead, and he's just in a free flow of being able to make an impact on the team. So yeah, I think in terms of impact, in that for me, in that aspect, it's clear cut that I would rather have Trent in the team. For me anyway, yeah.
Right.
Have they started? Have they, G? Have they started? Have they?
Poops reacts, bro. I think we need to chill. We need to.
If that's Joshy Beans, I'm going round his house later.
John C says Wan Bissaka's improved going forward in the last 6 or 7 games, and his defending levels in front. I get that. I'm going to just quickly give Sean some statistics, actually. So, and then we'll go to Shane. So Trent has obviously made 84 Premier League appearances. Okay, he scored scored 4 goals. That's okay, it's interesting. 25 assists, 28 clean sheets. That's his Premier League record. Okay, so the whole thing of going forward, okay, but he's only scored 4 goals, and he's got 25 assists, 28 clean sheets. Though you could argue that may not be attributed to him. But more importantly, this is his defensive stats. Okay, defense, obviously clean sheets 28, goals conceded 55, tackles 147, tackle success 65%, last man tackle 1, block shots 25, interceptions 102, clearances 174, headed clearance 61. He's made 493 recovery tackles. He's, in terms of duels, and this is an interesting way it gets interesting, his duels won 246, but duels lost 295, which means that on one-on-ones he's more likely to lose than is to clear. Successful 50-50 is 53, own goals 0, errors leading to the goal 1. So that's a brief word on statistics. So Sean, we talk about impact on the team and his impact on the team going forward.
Yeah.
So you don't have to think about him defending. Well, a valid question could be, well, if his impact is on going forward, why do you necessarily, when you've got Salah, when you've got Mane, when you've got wingers that can come in to do the job, do you necessarily need Trent Alexander-Arnold in the team then?
That's how we won the Champions League. From that corner, from that corner against Barca. It's that little touch of genius that you need. Yeah, like I say, just from my earlier statement, I'd still just his vision and just the talent that he is and that bit of class that he's got, is potential to be world class. I wouldn't say that he's world class yet, but I would say that there's potential there to be one of the world class right backs. And I understand the statistics of like the one-on-ones and stuff like that. He brings them up himself. He's just like he's a good lad. He understands where he needs improvement. Wan Bissaka, absolutely amazing, like incredible defender, especially when it comes to that sort of one-on-one. In fact, most teams try and play the other side because they know just how incredible Wan Bissaka is. So, like, I'm not going to take anything away from Wan Bissaka in terms of that. All I will say is that Trent just needs to add to his game in certain aspects. He's a young lad, 21 years old. I'm sure those statistics are troubling him as well. But still wouldn't have him out my team. Like I say, he's just unbelievable to watch. The statistics don't always tell a full story as well, because he is that sort of flair in a team that sort of gets people going, gets people defending as well. So yeah, like I understand. I totally know what you mean, G. Like the statistics on him defending aren't maybe as good. I have a feeling they'll get better though. He's a good lad. He looks at that kind of thing. He wants to improve. But yeah, impact going forward we have a license to give that to Trent, just to like say, look, listen, you just have that license to go ahead and go forward, because likely chances it's not going to cost us, because we've got such an outstanding keeper, outstanding defense, and maybe if Wan Bissaka had that, then he'd be able to bomb forward as well, or maybe just improve his game going forward.
Okay, Shane, do you want to respond? So, like, we're talking about impact. Why do you think that Wan Bissaka's impact at United is greater than Trent's impact at Liverpool?
Just touching back on what Sean just said there. As he said, if Wan Bissaka had the opportunity to go forward, he'd maybe create a few more opportunities, but I still don't believe it'd be on the level that Trent does. That's just how good Trent is going forward. But having said that, what I always look for is, as you said, Sean, that people tend not to go down Wan Bissaka's side. And that's, you're looking at people like Leroy Sané's tried, Will Zaha, Riyad Mahrez, Willian, all the greatest so-called wingers. And I think the biggest scout that Wan Bissaka can say that he's claimed is Raheem Sterling. Not on once or twice, but we're talking 3 or 4 different occasions, multiple times within those games. And what I always look at is when, as a defender myself, has been, but what I always would think to myself, what would a striker not like to play against? How can I make a striker's life awkward? And it's the truth would be the same with any wingers or indeed forwards. Even Rashford, when Wan Bissaka was still at Crystal Palace, couldn't get past him. So for me, you look at it and the winger will think, I don't fancy playing against him. Defensively, I don't want it. And you can definitely see that when he's coming up against multiple wingers and forwards. And that's definitely the case with Raheem Sterling. When it comes to, you're looking at statistics. Well, let me recognize. Go on.
Shane, let me just. I've got obviously Wan Bissaka statistics up here, so it would be very good to just go over in. So he obviously Trent has obviously 28 clean sheets. So I'll just go up. So in terms of appearances, he made 68 appearances, so slightly less than Trent. But obviously, Wan Bissaka's just come this season. In terms of
but you with that one, you can look at the overall Premier League appearances, can't you? Which bring in Crystal Palace as well to that.
Yes, that's true. I think this is just his appearances,
which is still less than what Trent has made as well. Anyway.
Yeah. No, I agree. Clean sheets wise, he's got 21. Goals conceded 84 for Wan. In terms of tackles, 257 tackles for Wan Bissaka, obviously compared to Trent's 147. Tackle success rate is 68% compared to Trent's 65. Blocked shot 6 compared to Trent's 25, and last man tackle 1. Interceptions, Trent obviously has made 102. Aaron Wan Bissaka made 152. Clearances, Trent has made 174. Wan Bissaka has made 212. Duels won, and Wan Bissaka has won 478 duels. Duels lost, 266. Obviously, compared to 246 for Trent and 295 lost for Trent in that sense. Successful 50-50s, 117 to Trent's 53. And obviously, aerial battles, Trent has won 29, and Wan Bissaka has won 70. So, I mean, going back to you, Shane, I mean, like the statistics, does that not show Trent a more defensive ability?
I don't think you. I mean, you can look at the stats all day long. I mean, Trent's got 20 more assists than Wan Bissaka, which, you know, that's fantastic going forward. I think the point in case is who's going to make the more of an impact going into the same side, for example. I think if you put a winger in Trent Alexander-Arnold's place, he's going to have a similar impact to Trent. Whereas if you put a player similar to Trent in Wan Bissaka's team, which struggled defensively and has been, you're going to struggle to get an impact. So if you're going to the same side, for example, for me, like I mentioned earlier, I don't believe that Wan Bissaka in the same team in that Liverpool side could produce the same amount of goals that Trent Alexander-Arnold does. I just don't believe he has that quality. But likewise, I don't feel that you can put them both going into the same team. And I think you'd feel more of an impact from Wan Bissaka's defensive capabilities than you would Trent's forward capabilities, purely because Wan Bissaka can get forward. He's still athletic. He's still good with dribbling the ball. But you're not going to be able to say, right, okay, because Trent is great at assisting, he's going to have more of an impact if you go in as just a pure right back. So for me, that's why you're always going to affect the game. If you can put one man on an island against another man, rather than having to double up, which you have to do normally, which is the done thing nowadays. You get a midfielder to come across, or you get your defence to shuffle across, and your next centre back will come and help you. If you can put one man on an island against another man or against the best attacking player and isolate him completely, that frees up a lot more of your team than it does if you were having to put 2 or 3, like against Adama Traore. Adama Traore is the only person that I've seen. He's not gone up against Wan Bissaka directly, but you're talking every single team. Adama Traore has 3 or 4 players surrounding him because they're fearful of what he can do. So that's why, for me, Wan Bissaka makes a huge impact because of his defensive capabilities, and he can get forward. We're kind of dressing up like he can't get forward. He can get forward, but he just doesn't have the same quality as Trent.
Getting into some comments, there's quite a lot of Liverpool fans in these comments, so I'll just read some of these out here. John C, I think, agrees and said defender's first job is to defend. Mad Mark UK says we can't help being good, can we? Well, you guys got battered by Madrid, so you have to take that, unfortunately. I went there. This is the United channel, guys. Sammy, good to see you. So flip Trent's achievements alone to Wan Bissaka's. There is no argument. Where's the second Champions League, Sammy? Where's the second one? As far as I'm aware, the other one you almost had it, and then Atletico Madrid happened. So 1 Champions League, but I take the point. 97-point season, winning Premier League, and part of the best defense. I mean, I guess the question. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean,
maybe Sammy should be on the show.
In fact, I'm moderating, and that's to Shane actually. So I'm not gonna say this. But I'll just continue reading the comments and go back to Shane and then to Sean. Red Devil Weekly, shout out to Bob. Please head over to the channel as well. Wan Bissaka is a better defender, but TTA is better going forward. Okay. case closed, I guess.
I think that's a pretty standard.
I think I've seen a comment at the bottom there from Terry. He was saying, I think you do great to have both players into one. That's pretty much how we started off, didn't we, Sean? We were saying, look, if you morph both into one, you've got probably one of the best right backs of all time. Yeah, and that's how good Trent is going forward, and Wan Bissaka defending. I genuinely believe. Yeah. I know you said you don't feel that Trent's world class as a whole. I think going forward as an attacking fullback, he's world class and attacking fullback. Mm-hmm. Likewise, I feel the same as Wan Bissaka as a defender, but obviously not going forwards.
Yeah.
It's true. I think there's another comment here. When Trent is the best out there at the moment. Okay, fair enough. You have Sammy again says Trent's invincibility is underrated. Okay, fair enough.
I can see why some people would say that, but we're going head to head, aren't we? So like we're not stating that Trent can't defend, because I wouldn't say that, but I'm going to an England game here where I'm thinking, come on, man, you're meant to be the best in the country at that spot. So you've got to be able to defend a bit better, and he looks a bit suspect. But likewise, when Wan Bissaka's going forward, if you're going to claim that title, you've got to be able to do both. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you bring a grid, and I'll bring this back to Sean as I just changed the comments, because this is interesting, because both of these two players, because let's exclude Kyle Walker and Trippier for a second. Let's just get them out of there. Both of these players are basically up and coming right backs for England. And there is only one right back spot for the England national team. So who do you put in that right back position? Do you put Trent or do you put Wan Bissaka, and why? And I'll go back to Sean. Why do you think that Trent, in the context of the England team, goes into that right back position over Wan Bissaka, Sean?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because it just depends on like how England's set up and how they play. But if you were to have like a really attacking side, I'd definitely have Trent there, because once again, it's that impact that I spoke about. He can flare up a team. He can make that impact that you need in an international game. Keeping in mind that once you're out of the group stages, you're just talking about impact all the time. It's just about getting them goals so you can make it through to the next stage or to the next round. So like for me, get Trent in there somehow, even if you put him in left the midfield. I'd just put him in there either which way you can, just because of his statistics in terms of assists and key passes and them kind of aspects of his game that would just go missing if he wasn't in the team. So like I'd even if you think to yourself, okay, defensively chuck somebody else in there right back, I'd try and fit Trent in there somewhere, just because otherwise you miss out on all of them abilities. But it depends on, like, once again, it just depends on how they set up, because we've seen England set up so many different ways and so many different times, playing so many different systems. I mean, we really don't know what's going on there.
That's true. That's a good point. I think what you said there in terms of the system, England, it depends on how you set up. I'd say if you're going with a sort of, and I'm dying for Man United to do this, because I believe it's the one way you're ever going to see Trent Alexander-Arnold and Wan Bissaka playing the same team. 5 at the back, so wing backs obviously, and you're having Wan Bissaka as an inside right, sort of right-sided centre back, so to speak, and Trent as a right wing back. I think that's the only time you're going to see them in the same side. And I think Palmaris, I just seen a comment from Palmaris where he said the reason Rashford improved so much is because Wan Bissaka's been pushing him so much in training. I think that goes a long way, and that's kind of understated in terms of, if you're aware of how solid someone is behind you, that gives you more freedom to go and attack. Like I say, if you know someone behind you can cover you, not only cover you, but dominate the other team's offensive best player, or player that's on your side of the pitch, that leaves you with a freedom of mind to know that you can go and attack, rather than thinking to yourself that, oh, right, if I don't make some of this, I've got to chase back 60, 70 yards to go and help out my right back or left back. So for me, where you said, Sean, that if we went with an attacking lineup, i.e. Jadon Sancho, Raheem Sterling, Harry Kane and Rashford, for example, that's four mega attackers that we can line up with. I'd be more inclined to play Wan Bissaka as opposed to Trent, because that's just so much bombing forwards. Likewise, if we were to go with a more sort of traditional defensive setup, I'd be more inclined to go with Trent as an attacking wing back option, purely because of what he offers going forward. But I would say, if I had to pick between the two, purely because I've seen World Cups and European Championships won on defence, a la Greece, Italy before, you know, if you can keep a clean sheet with the strikers we've got, or can bring on or introduce, we're always going to have a chance of scoring. So I'd always go with Wan Bissaka.
There's a few interesting comments that come out, so I'll just read before I go back and answer the question. So I think the first, aside from the sort of the troll, troll moments. So obviously, I don't listen to any of Shane. You have my respect, you know your stuff, mate. Love that. See us, shout out. That's shout out.
Yes, Mad Mark TV. What's going on, brother?
Shout out to Draco.
Make sure you check out his channel as well, man. Draco, Red Devil, Mad Mark. Go and check out their channels, man. They do some good stuff.
John C says, if Wan Bissaka was in your team against Atletico Madrid instead of Trent, you would not have been beaten. That's interesting.
I don't think it was just Trent's fault. I think just they set up like puss cakes and they just out puss caked us, and that was just it. I mean, it must have been horrific for people to watch from the outside.
Yeah, I think Atletico Madrid though as a whole though, and in all honesty, Sean, they're a horrible team to play against, man. They really are, and I just Diego Simeone's got them set up in such a way they're like androids, man. They know where to be in every single phase of the game. It's horrible to play against. And I watched that again. I'm thinking, if Liverpool can't break these lot down, flip your neck, man. What hope is there for the rest of us? Do you know what I mean? And they are that rigid and well regimented, man. So
yeah, it was horrible. Yeah,
interesting point as well. Raymond Moore says, and shout out to Raymond again, I don't think Trent will survive against Ronaldo or Messi, given his role as a defender. Bissaka will do a better job. So.
I don't think anyone survives against Ronaldo or Messi.
No, that's true, but it puts an interesting point, because you know, if we're talking about, if we're saying that Trent is, as a lot of people in the comments said, and a lot of people are you saying Sean is the better player now, his attacking bit is going well. That works, I guess, if you're playing against lesser teams. But if you're playing against teams that have more quality going forward, then you know, then that will cause a problem. So in that sense, is Wan Bissaka not the better defender, the better player? Because ergo, if he comes up, we haven't seen obviously Wan Bissaka against Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo yet, although we have seen him against likes of Sterling, we have seen him against Sane. I think who else did he come up against?
He did a good job.
And a few other.
Do you know what, G? Can I interject there? You know, with regards to Trent Alexander-Arnold, I feel that he's a victim of his circumstance. Likewise but when I say victim, I mean because of the system and team he plays within, he shines. So he could improve defensively, fine. But one person who I was gonna throw out there who is benefiting royally with Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool system is Jordan Henderson, because if you look at Liverpool's midfield three, whoever plays there, whether it's James Milner, Naby Keita, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, whoever plays there, right, they do a specific job within a system. Whereas if you was to take, for example, I'm picking the Jordan Henderson here. If you was to put the two players together, Jordan Henderson and Paul Pogba, who would you say is a better player? But it's purely because of the system that Jurgen Klopp's put in place. It allows players to flourish. And that's where I'm saying, if you was to put the two players into a specific team or the same team, I believe you'd see Wan Bissaka stand out more, because I believe that what he brings to the team is what you want first and foremost. You want to be solid at the back, and he brings that on his own to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just quickly, if I can just answer Raymond more. And
yeah.
I know, honestly, Raymond, I say there's all respect, buddy. I'm not putting you down at all there, but we did beat Messi. Like, I mean, really, when they came to Anfield, there was not a single clear-cut chance that they had really against us, you know, and it was collectively as a defense, I admit straight away, but also Trent had probably the best game of his career so far against that Barcelona team. Defensively, he smashed it out the park. Attackingly, he smashed it out the park. It was probably his best performance. He was really, really Superman that day. So, I mean, you can strike Messi off the list because we did a good job of just keeping him completely quiet. I think he had 2 shots in the whole game.
I think with players like Messi, I mean, we're going off the ball here a little bit. Players like Messi, you have to do as a collective. I mean, I've seen us try to play against Messi with Patrice Evra. You know, Evra in his own right was a great defender, but made the mistake of trying to one-on-one him. You can't do that with Messi.
Yeah, that's it.
Just quickly reading this, because a lot of comments coming in from both channels, so I'll just quickly go through the latest, and then we'll come to the last question, and we'll be done. So Drake. So just going back to Jamie Silversoy's comment, Matt Doherty is better than both Imo Trent. When Imo not okay. That's interesting, Jamie. That is very interesting.
Can you kick people out the stream?
That's funny.
Trent went back to England if he can attack, but Wan Bissaka were against a stronger team. I can see Trent moving forward in a few years' time. See, this is essentially what you're saying is what I'm saying, in that it sounds like you play Trent against a weaker team, you play Wan Bissaka against a stronger team. You know what I mean? So it's like, ergo Wan Bissaka, therefore you could argue is the better player in the position, because you're going to be playing him against stronger and better teams. If that makes any sense. If Trent is just there to just destroy weaker teams, but is not reliable against stronger teams, then ergo Wan Bissaka is the better defender. You know.
Yeah. Once again, like I say, I just bring up that Barcelona game. You can see that he does have the ability to take down big teams, because defensively and attackingly that game he was just absolutely outstanding. The whole team was really. I don't want to take anything away and just talk about Trent, but because we're just talking about Trent and Bissaka this evening, I wouldn't. If I was to go back to that game, I wouldn't take Trent out of the game. He won the game for us. I mean, you know, retrospectively of
his jewels, isn't it? Yeah.
I know
you said, which is why I highlighted. Look, we're kind of going on like Trent can't defend. He can defend. It's just like we're saying, sort of saying Wan Bissaka can't attack. He can attack, but the levels in each area where the other is strongest in, the levels are worlds apart, so to speak. So that's why you kind of have to, you know, highlight. The other can defend, the other can attack. That's all. So I think what it'll come down to is, because my point is, Trent is world class going forwards, Wan Bissaka is world class going back. Who's better at the worst attribute? So is Trent better at defending than Wan Bissaka is attacking? Well, that's one of the ways to look at it.
Well, that will be in fact, let that be our last question actually before we head off. So I think that'll be the best way to turn things around. I'm just going to produce a quick comments, then we'll go into that. So Joel says, I'd rather have our Wan Bissaka in the World Cup final. England wouldn't have possession anyway, so they have to defend a lot against elite wingers. Draco again says, but in the last digital tournament, I reckon he will struggle defensively, which is Trent. Going back to Isapane says, number 1 right back Trent. Lad starts on assist, tackles, ground covered. He's got it all. Yes, he's a little rougher on the edges, but he's the future of both the country. Jamie Silver back again says, England won't win anything playing 4 at the back. We're better 3 at the back with wing backs. Okay.
Let's just stop on that one real quick.
Okay,
So because I touched on that one, I think I said the only time you'll get them both in the same team is when if Man United play Wan Bissaka as a right-sided centre back in a 3, and then obviously that hopefully, you know, transpires into England. I genuinely believe Wan Bissaka is that good defensively, and Trent is that good going forward, that it could be a match made in heaven. Who knows, man? That's I don't know. But and we've got that much good players going forward. I don't know.
Cool. Okay, let's quickly go into the last topic, which you basically think was a nice way to end here, where on the last point of who's the better defender or not, you know, we said, what do you think is actually? Oh, sorry, my screen is acting funny. I apologize. Which player is better at the worst attribute? So is Trent? So I think, Sean, can you make an argument for Trent defending?
Mm-hmm.
And then can Shane make an argument for Wan Bissaka going forward? And then we'll wrap things up.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, like I say, it's the defensively. There's been a few games where I thought to myself, "Wow, Trent was terrible today," but overall, I'm fairly satisfied with how he defends. He like I say, if he puts a shift in and a performance like he does at his best against the best teams, like when against Barcelona or things like that, we probably would be having this conversation, because it would just be hands down, you know, the best right back in the world. But because there is, I think somebody put it in the comments, the rough around the edges, you know, and he'll trim that. But in terms of right now, still, I would find it too difficult to like say Trent's not good enough in that area, because he does a good job. He really does. He's been fine. There's been a few games, like maybe you can count them on one hand, like 4 or 5, where I thought to myself, okay, he wasn't good enough today, but for the rest of the time, he just absolutely knocked it out of the park, and just so entertaining to watch, just fantastic. So in terms of defensively, I don't have like a massive issue, even though I see what this argument of Trent versus Wan Bissaka, because they're both absolutely tremendous talents. Let's face it, and I won't take anything away from them. But yeah, that's maybe the best argument that I can make for Trent's defensive role.
Okay, and go over to Shane, and just again a few comments. It's all about content. Keep it going as we're in lockdown. It's good to keep the banter going. Yeah, I mean, so like I think from what I'm seeing, a lot of positive. I mean, it's good. I'm glad that this conversation could have gone either way, but this has been quite a respectful and good discussion. And it seems that a lot of people on both channels are basically quite positive about the content that's going, and hopefully we can do more of this type of sort of thing fairly soon. To be honest, while we wait for the Premier League to come back, you know. So,
yeah.
But over to you.
Could do a Virgil van Dijk Maguire comparison if you like.
We're not going to do that.
No, behave yourself, Sean. Behave yourself. That's Sean going, you set him up, I'll knock him down. That's called cheating, I think, Sean. Sean, I think that's called cheating, mate.
The cheat code.
We
could do a BBD versus a BBD.
Three other centre backs. Yeah. 3 other centre backs.
Yeah. Yap Stam, actually. We can do a VB versus Yap Stam, actually.
Don't get me emotional now, G. Don't get me emotional now, G. Come on now. You can't bring up my favourite Man United defender all the time.
Yeah, man.
Come on now.
You defended him, man. You defended him. So I'm going to get this off because I'm in front of a green screen because it's all my
Yes,
screen.
G with a green.
Yeah. So my camera's messing up. Anyway, go on. So yeah, VVD versus Yap Stam. Let me know in the comments, guys. Would you want another debate between these two, VVD versus Yap Stam? Let me know. We'll get it sorted. Shane, go on ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I'd say for Wan Bissaka, like I said, I've been frustrated a few times when he's been going forward with his decision making. That's what it comes down to. In terms of technical ability and quality, you can see when he does make the right decisions, he can assist and create opportunities, and that's what it comes down to. I think when you're putting someone in a position that does that much defending that Wan Bissaka does, to ask him to go and then assist or create, 30 to 40 chances over a 12-game period, it's a lot to ask. That being said, technically he's got the ability, but decision making at the moment, I feel, is stopping him from doing that at the moment. And when he displays it, because he can beat a man as well, which is always exciting. You know, he's confident with the ball at his feet, let's say, so he can beat a man. Just the decision making lets him down at times, but when he does whip it in quick and early, creates opportunities and is dangerous in the opposition's third.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. Last comments in before we end. Thank you so much, everyone who's watching. Hope we can obviously bring you guys a lot more live content. Eric says this is from Facebook. Actually, I forgot we're streaming to Facebook. Wan Bissaka is much better than TA, in my opinion. All Amos needs to do is get forward more and provide those crosses. On the occasion he has tried doing so, it has turned out well. Fair enough. Take on someone and put in a cross. There'll be someone at the end of it for sure, and that is a fair point because a lot of people bear in mind that Wan Bissaka has actually he's been encouraged to go forward and he's put crosses in. There've been a lot of good crosses, and a lot of the issue has been that there hasn't been anyone in
the strikers on the end of it. But then that comes with time, though, where we got Firmino, Salah, Mane. They understand and expect, whereas Manchester United strikers aren't. The quality isn't as sufficient as Liverpool's, and they maybe don't expect it, and that again comes down to time together.
Fair enough. Okay, guys. Well, hopefully that's been a great watch, a great debate.
Hold on. What did we settle on? I don't think we settled on anything. Did we settle on anything?
As the moderator, I can't. As a United fan, as the moderator, I can't. And as you know, I can't say that Trent Alexander-Arnold is the better.
Who won? Comment below.
In fact, who won?
Yes, Shawnee. Yes, Shawnee. Yes, Shawnee. Tell him.
Yes, let us know in the comments who won. Who won?
Dear me.
Argument. Trent or Wan Bissaka. So there's a lot of TAAs, a lot of Wan Bissaka, Matt Rush, TAA Pamela. I said TAA. Talbot as a Liverpool fan. Lucas, TAA. Raymond Moore says Steven Gerrard versus Paul Scholes. Man, I did a debate on that on someone else's channel, and it scarred me a bit.
That can get nasty, man. Come on now.
It could get nasty. It could get nasty. I think
there's only one winner of that one. That's Scholesy, obviously. Come on now. Come on, Shorty. Come on, Shorty.
Leave your comments down below.
Oh man, but no, I mean, if everyone's guys are watching it, we can do it again, and we can do, let's say, Gerrard versus Scholes. We can do Trent versus BBD versus Stam, and a few other matchups. I know lockdown has obviously not been great for a lot of people, and especially over this bank holiday weekend, we've got a bit of time. So I'll speak to the guys if we could organize something and do something similar to like this. We'll do it. It seems that's been quite positive. So yeah, I guess last statements before we end. Actually, instead of talking about when do you guys actually think that this that football will actually be coming back? When with that actually? So because I think that's the big picture with all these things. Like, will football come back? And if it doesn't, does that mean that Liverpool will perennially not be able to get a Premier League title?
I think they're just going to look at Germany. I think they're just like the test bunnies. Because when are they coming back?
The 19th next week. Sean, my new YouTube hero. There you go. You've got an admirer, Sean.
You can follow my YouTube as well if you like. It's for Min Show.
What message me the link, man? So I'll put it in the
put it in the comments
like that.
Sorry, sure. I didn't know you was on YouTube as well, mate.
It's all good, man. Yeah, no worries. I mean, it's not football. It's like a gaming channel. But if you want to keep up with stuff that I do,
well, a lot of us are gamers here anyway, mate. So
awesome.
So yeah, a lot of us gamers here, mate. So yeah, definitely go and follow. Definitely go and follow Sean's channel as well. Can you get it in there now, G, whilst we're on? Or
no, not while we're live. I'll have to end the broadcast. So, but I'll make sure I do that next time, because I can then stream onto this stuff on the Sean channel as well. So, but sorry, Sean, just finish off now.
Yeah, so I was just going to say, so like I think it's just going to be all eyes on Germany. Like I think they're kind of like the test bunnies of everything. They're just going to see how it goes. I've heard, I've got to admit, I've heard very little information on it. I don't know whether it's going to be behind closed doors. I guess it must be, at least for a few weeks coming. Yeah, so like I think if everything works out well and things seem to be working clearly over in Germany, which is like a much bigger country than what we are here in the UK, then more than likely the Premier League is going to look at that and like go, well, you know, providing we take care and we're nice and careful about it, then you know we can get the season back on the way and just finish it. Considering there's only like what six games left, something like that.
9 games.
No.
Was it 9?
There wasn't a lot left, was there?
Yeah, I think there's 9 games left. Obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with the FA Cup. I assume they're going to scrap it. They must scrap the FA Cup. There's no word about the FA Cup coming back.
Okay.
And the Champions League and the Europa League, well, that's UEFA's jurisdiction, and they want that finished by August. So I think what UEFA basically want all domestic seasons to be finished by the end of June, somewhat, so that they can basically finish their competitions by the end of August. So
yeah,
from what I can gather, the general sense is that everything should be finished by August. If that doesn't happen, then I think that you'd probably go towards this whole cancellation thing. What about you, Shane? What do you think?
My big thing is, if it's not solved and there isn't, you know, so-called, if you like, treatment that can cure people, how do you then justify people run on the pitch and, you know, it's contact sport. So as much as I love football, I value people's lives more. So I don't know. I'd just like to see the plan of how they're going to be able to marshal the games and everyone working in and around it before I'd say, yeah, let's do it. Because let's be honest, as much as we love football and sport, obviously people's lives are more important. So I'd want to see more of how are they going to manage it so everyone's safe, basically.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, and with that, I think we're out, and I think that is the message from all three of us, is that obviously it's been a good, respectful debate, discussion about the different players, and we thank you guys so much for getting involved. Obviously, make sure that you guys are staying safe, doing well. We'll obviously get through this, and hopefully football will be back soon when we can actually have more of these discussions. Thanks, guys, for everyone who's tuned in on both channels, on the United Man, on obviously Red Devil Studio. And just being involved in this discussion. Hopefully we can do more of these in the future. Thank you so much to Shane and Sean for coming on, especially Sean at such short notice.
Cheers, Sean.
We'll hopefully get some Gerrard versus Scholes and VVD versus Jap Stam.
Fight talk. That's fight talk. That is, G. You got to behave yourself, bro. That's fight talk, man.
These are good lads, and please head over to their channels and subscribe to those that are watching. I'll post Sean's subscription channel in the link, and hopefully next time we'll stream directly to his channel as well when doing these debates. We'll be doing a Red Devil Studio live podcast on Monday evening where we'll be discussing all things just generic football. I think we'll be talking about the Newcastle takeover, again, when the season will come back, and what's going to happen with the Bundesliga, because obviously that'll be returning this week. So stay tuned for that. So yeah, guys, take care, everybody. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and cheers.
Cheers, guys.